As you're aware, the numbers are still high, and we are still seeing a trend where the positivity rate in the state also is one of the highest that we have seen in the past, these past 18 months of this COVID that has come up, not 18 but 12, 14 months. So therefore the situation is serious, and therefore different kind of containment strategies have been adopted. We are looking at a situation where we want to avoid lockdown, but at the same time, to contain the situation, we need to put more and more restrictions at least in the Shillong city area. Having said that, there are a lot of indications that are coming in. We are seeing that more and more of the returnees that are coming in are testing positive. We are seeing close to 65% of returnees testing positive. That's a very large and alarming number. Therefore, in order to ensure that we are able to contain the spread of the virus through these returnees, apart from making the RT-PCR test mandatory for them, we are also giving very strong advisory to them to isolate themselves for 7 days, which means irrespective of whether they test positive or negative in the RT-PCR, we are giving a strong advisory to them and their family members that they should isolate themselves for 7 days, because we are seeing that these returnees have a potential to spread the virus, and by ensuring that we contain and we isolate them irrespective of being positive or negative, there's a higher chance that we'll be able to contain the situation. Now, why are we doing this? Is because more and more, as I said, numbers are showing that returnees are coming out positive. So there could be a chance where we are seeing kind of a more relaxed attitude if they turn out to be negative in the test. But it could be that they could have picked up the virus along the way also, since this is a highly contagious virus. So in order to ensure that we don't take any chance, it's highly advised, strongly advised to the returnees and to their family members that they can keep themselves isolated for 7 days at least, even from their own family members. Apart from that, we have also decided that certain areas, more restrictions will come in. DC will be giving those details to the press in terms of what is the more clear definition of essential versus non-essential. So there's some confusion among the people, but we will be giving more clarification on that. Also, at this point in time, I would really urge the citizens of the state, especially of Shillong city, that the situation is very serious, and if we do not take the right steps at this point in time, we could see the situation getting from bad to worse. And therefore, it is very, very essential that we take responsibility at our level to ensure that we don't go out of our homes unless and until it is absolutely necessary. I know it's difficult, but as I was mentioning in my previous press conferences also, that though the virus is spreading faster this time, the only silver lining in this whole thing is that there is a solution that is there, which is the vaccination, which we are pushing at the earliest. We are covering quite a bit. We have almost touched 15,000 vaccinations today, which is the highest that the state has seen. And we hope that these numbers will continue and get higher and higher. And so I once again appeal to all the citizens who are above the age of 45 to please come forward and get your vaccination. We have opened up many vaccination centers, and the best way to protect yourself is to get the vaccination. Apart from that, we will be reviewing the situation in the next few days again to ensure that this containment is there. Apart from the containment and the vaccination, of course, we are very concerned about the overall infrastructure and availability of resources to be able to fight this situation, especially when it comes to the requirements of oxygen, requirements of bed, requirements of medication. So we are reviewing that also on a continuous basis. I have just visited on my way from Tura, the Oxygen Bernihut Private Limited manufacturing center, and this happens to be in our own state, and I've met the management there, and they have all assured us that they will be supplying to the health department into the state on a priority basis as and when it's required. So that's a very positive news. At the same time, with UNDP's help and with the Government of India's help, we'll also be putting up 6 more oxygen production centers throughout the state, which we are hopeful that in the next 2 to 3 weeks to maximum 4 weeks, we should be able to set those up. So efforts are being made at all levels. We are also looking at ensuring that the beds capacities are increased in all the districts. So those aspects also are being pushed and examined because we want to be sure that we are prepared in case situation gets difficult for the people of our state. So in this, all these situations, we are doing our best to ensure that we are looking at all the different scenarios, and all these points were discussed today also. We also discussed about the improvement of the overall management, even down to the sub-center level and the village level, where we want to ensure that awareness is created properly as to how one should respond to if they are positive, because sometimes there is a sense that people end up thinking that going to the hospital is the only way out, but then one can monitor themselves and ensure that only when you are crossing a certain line, then you may need medical attention or professional attention. But if it is not, then we don't need to stress the hospitals and the medical healthcare sector. And if we can handle it at that level, then in case the numbers do go up, we'll be in a better position to overall manage only those cases which are very critical and need medical attention, and the others will be able to manage on their own to large extent. And so therefore the necessary training, necessary infrastructure and necessary structuring of this entire system is also being planned to see that in a situation where the numbers go up, we are in a better state to manage the overall situation. These people are our own people who happen to be working or studying outside, and they are obviously facing a very difficult situation in other parts of the country. So as a state, and they being our own citizens, it would not be fair to not allow them to come. So that is not something that the government would want to do. So therefore, but that's why we are saying that in their interest, where we are trying to help everybody in understanding that they also would want to come back to their homes. We are not going to stop them, but we are urging them to please be very careful while they return and to follow the protocols and to ensure that they follow this advisory of isolating themselves at least for 7 days, and if symptoms come up, then test again and again isolate themselves for the necessary time frame. So therefore we need the cooperation of the citizens and the returnees especially. Again, as I said, the operation that we are looking at in front of us is massive, and therefore when so many things are happening, including vaccination drive, including the containment strategy, monitoring the different requirements that are required at the district level, ensuring that the infrastructure goes up. When all of these are happening, there is always situations where there could be certain small loose ends that are there. Certain people who are irresponsible, who would not want to follow the system and put themselves in danger and others in danger could be there. It's not possible for the government and the machinery to really go into micro management of each and every situation. So there could be 10-15% cases that may be there, which we will try to minimize. We will see how we could strengthen the monitoring. We have now, in fact, a CCTV live. Just show it on live. We'll just show you how we are working now. So just to give you a sense of satisfaction and also to see that how we are looking at this entire thing. So all the centers now are live. We are monitoring them, so that we can be more, minimize the kind of people who are trying to escape the system. So all these, you can see on the right, this is live as we sit here. So we can actually see who are the people. These are the lines of people who are there right now. So therefore, this is the kind of monitoring we're doing, and hopefully more and more such technology will be used as we go along. So therefore, it's not 100% foolproof, which, as you have mentioned, but we will try our best to minimize any kind of complicated situation. And we only can urge our citizens to make sure that they cooperate with us. But yes, we all need to work together to be able to get through the situation. We are hopeful, as I said, that these numbers will not go up more. We're seeing large numbers of returnees. We even touched like 800, 900 in the last few days. So hopefully that these numbers will not go too high. But in case they do, then yes, this is the strategy that we have in mind. On the first day itself, we had a program where a meeting, and we decided that we're going to completely start these restrictions in Shillong city, and there were very strong restrictions. So if you look at the numbers that were there that time, there were hardly 100, 200 or 300. But then because we saw this kind of projection, and we saw that if the things continue the way they are, and I mentioned that in the press conference I had that day, that seeing the trend, if you don't take restriction now, then 15, 20 days later, things may get really out of control. And that's the reason why 15 days before only we had stopped the schools, then we decided to stop the colleges, then we decided that we're going to stop these non-essential. And then as we go along, if we see again the trend in the next few days, because you see each categorization is there. There are people who are returning, but if you isolate them, that's fine. But if the high-risk contact group keeps going up, if the group that comes up with those symptoms and coughs and all who are random, those numbers keep going up, then it becomes an area of concern for us. So we need to analyze it in more micro details, and based on that we will again take the decision in the next 2 days time on what more restrictions to go for. But as I said, and I've always maintained this, that there's an issue of livelihood, there's an issue of economy, and therefore we cannot go for extreme measures because it would hit the livelihood of the people. So we're trying to balance both of these out. If things go the way they are, you're talking of 10 days, less than 10 days, could double. If the trend, if the number of continues. So therefore, I won't have the exact numbers with me. They have the exact numbers here. But what would be a safe thing to do?
Of May, we are expecting 5,000.
Yeah. So if the trend continues the way it is, we could be hitting 5,000 cases by mid of May. We're at 1,400 today. So this number we came to know in the meeting 10 days back we had. So therefore we decided all those measures, and that's the reason we keep stressing that we need to not look at this 1,400 and say it's only 1,400. No, we know the trend that's happening, and this is not trend just for us, it's a trend in the rest of the country also. So we're learning from those trends also, and that's the reason why before we even reach that point, we need to take the decision and make restrictions, and that's why we did that, and that's why we also went for this aggressive campaign for vaccination also. So yes, you're right, it's based on all these facts, projections that we had, that we are going for such measures. A lot of people may feel that numbers are so low, why we're going for it. It's not correct. We have to see the trend and the growth rate, which is really what is the worrying aspect. So please take care, as I said again, and please follow the restrictions that we have given to all.